Hello and welcome to show 4 part 2. Now, earlier we spoke to Brad. He's a young artist just starting out on his career, and he works in a more traditional way of putting oil paint onto canvas. Those canvases are then sold and put onto walls. Around here they do things a little bit differently. Welcome to Shoreditch. The completion of Europe's largest street art mural behind me would certainly seem to confirm Shoreditch as a destination for art lovers everywhere. But don't just come and see this one. There's plenty more around here to come and view. While the streets around Brick Lane are a fantastic place to go and see the artwork on the walls, if you want to see the artists putting that work on the walls, you can do much worse than come here. This is Bristol Upfest. Well, normally I'd be interviewing an artist as they're doing their work, but really all I have to do is point the camera here and let the artist speak for themselves. time to get my train back to Shoreditch. But now I appreciated the amount of effort it takes to put the artwork on the brickwork. And the more you look around, the more you'll probably start to recognise individual styles of some of the artists. The ghost of Jean-Michel Pasqua seems to have been at work on some walls. And I think the one behind me is probably by the same hand that completed the David Bowie tribute in Brixton. And this character is the work of Glor. He's an artist from Brazil but now living and working in London. Glor describes his character as a reimagined Mickey Mouse, now an adult and trying to survive in a dystopian urban landscape, the Disney-fied innocence of youth being a distant dream. And it's not just art from a spray can. Photographs are stuck on walls. There's plenty of stickers. Some 3D objects. There's plenty of paste-up work. There's even some traditional brushwork and more paste-ups. But of all the images found around here, these are the ones that I find most intriguing. I just love the way these characters seem to be shaking themselves apart with anger and frustration. It turns out that by the young street artist Nathan Bowen, and I was delighted to meet him earlier in the year at the Make More Festival. When did you develop this style, Nathan?
Yeah, so it's roughly like around about 2007.
Right.
I was on my last day, last day of my holiday. I was in Faliraki with my mates.
Okay.
And we was chilling by the pool, by a hotel.
Yeah.
And I thought it was my last day, but in fact we actually had an extra day left, so we spent all our money.
Right.
And there wasn't really much going on. It was like nice and warm.
Yeah.
Midday, and I thought I'm gonna start doing some drawing by the pool.
Yeah.
So I sat by the pool on the sunbed, nice weather, watching all the kids and all the adults play in the pool, and I just started sketching. And I had a biro pen.
Yeah.
I started sketching one of my characters, and started sketching like real rough, like real quick lines.
Yeah.
So all the line work I do now, I was doing then with a biro pen.
Right.
And I really enjoyed it, and I really got a good positive response. So people were walking past and, "Oh mate, this is really nice piece you got, man. Like, this is really good."
Yeah.
And I've been doing art all my life since I was a kid, but I've never had a response so strong before.
Right.
And I thought, you know what, when I get back, so the current time was August.
Yeah.
And I thought when I get back from holiday, I think I'm going to continue this style for my final year at St Martin's.
Oh, brilliant.
So I started the uni year again in September.
Yeah.
And decided to continue the style. So I was doing more and more paper pieces using biro pens.
Yeah.
And they originally were a lot more like figurative. So these are called demons.
Right.
And so when I first started, they're a lot more figurative.
Yeah.
So meaning like now they're a lot more like sort of cartoony. Their faces are like really wide,
You can always pick out the faces and the...
Yeah, yeah. But back then, when I first started in 2007, they resembled like more like, you know, demons.
Yeah.
So demons were like demons you see in like churches, artists that would like, you know, draw these images.
Yeah, sure.
And there was an artist called Hieronymus Bosch.
Yeah.
And he painted all these dark images of demons, which got me like into the idea of like doing these demons, but instead of making them so aggressive and evil,
yeah,
I wanted to make them like funny.
Yeah.
So yeah, so through 2007 to 2008, I was just doing, you know, developing the style, you know, using biro pen. I went from biro pen to a marker pen like Sharpie.
Yeah.
Because my tutor said to me, "Oh, you should do this bigger." And I was like, "Yeah, but you know, how do I do it bigger when I'm using just a biro pen?" And she said, "Oh, why don't you draw the images on acetate?
Yeah.
Acetate, yeah, see-through paper,
yeah,
and project it onto like a wall, and then draw it from that way." And I thought, yeah, that's a good idea, but that's a bit too much effort.
Yeah.
Instead, I'm just going to expand my medium. So from biro pen, I went to Sharpie.
Right.
And so I was at uni just doing these characters on boards.
Sure.
I wasn't really doing them on the street. I was just doing them on boards.
Yeah.
And they were like for my uni projects. And then it reached about like 2009, where like, yeah, I had enough of like doing them on paper and doing them in the books.
Yeah.
And on boards, I thought I'm gonna take it to the street.
Yeah.
So like at the time I was working part-time as a sound engineer with my mate.
Okay.
So my mate used to pick me up in his van and we used to drive around London to like clubs and set up speakers. And every time he was in a van, I'd always notice there's always like building sites, like just wooden hoardings.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, these are old and rusty. Maybe I could do some artwork on these. Like, you know, these, surely no one really cares. So traveling with my friend in the van sort of inspired me to do like artwork on building sites. Instead of doing them at home,
right,
I want to get out there. So my first street art piece was in Brick Lane.
Yeah.
I went to Brick Lane.
Is it the one by Shoreditch Street station?
Nah, that one, I did that one only like, that one was recently.
Was it?
But I hit that spot originally 3 years ago doing a paste up.
Okay.
That paste up got old and dirty. Then I'd done some more original pieces on there.
Right.
And graphers come and they buff it out.
Yeah.
So I always fight my corner.
Yeah.
But my first piece was it's not too far from Hanby Street in Brick Lane.
Okay.
So I went to Brick Lane, which is like 2009.
Yeah.
And I see these guys just do some artwork. And I said to them, mate, how did you get permission? How did you go about doing this? And they're like, yeah, man, we just spoke to the owner of the building.
Yeah.
So I was like, mate, I was like, cool, man, where is he at? And he's like, yeah, he's over there. So I see this owner of the building. It was an Asian guy, because it was an Asian restaurant that sold curries.
Right.
And I said to him, mate, is it cool if I could come back and maybe like, you know, do some artwork and stuff? He's like, yeah, man, cool, just come back tomorrow and just have fun.
Yeah.
So I was like, sweet, and yeah, I came back the next day and started doing street art in Brick Lane.
Brilliant.
That was like March 2009.
Oh, you know something, I think you've done the area a favour, you and the other artists, because you walk around there now, it's not just curries now, is it? There's whole tours going on. I've seen people with loads of cameras, whole tours of people walking around, actually earning a living, naming the artists when they did it, and all of that sort of stuff. So it's become part of the fabric of the area now.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. And you know, when I started in like 2009, there wasn't really much tours on. Really.
No.
There might have been the odd one, but yeah, now they're pretty much like everywhere in Shoreditch.
Sure.
So yeah, I did my first street art piece in Brick Lane, and then after that, I started doing more street art around like Central. So I thought, man, everyone's hitting Central, everyone's hitting Brick Lane, everyone's hitting Shoreditch.
Yeah.
You know, that's where everyone goes. Why not hit Central? Like Central, you've got loads more tourists.
Sure.
Everybody goes Central. There's theatres there. So yeah, I decided, man, I think there's some spots down Central. Let's have a look down there. So I went down Central, and yeah, I've done pieces down Shaftesbury Avenue.
Right.
I've done pieces down near Soho. I've got pieces down there at the moment.
Yeah.
But back in them days of 2009, 2010, yeah, those pieces were once there, now they're gone. But you know, they did have a presence at the time.
Yeah.
And yeah, so doing street art in Central was really, it sort of like opened up my shell, because Brick Lane and Shoreditch is the safe zone.
Yeah.
Everybody paints there, like I said. But Central was a bit more ballsy. And when I painted there, and I realised, you know, I wasn't really getting busted. It was the same sort of vibe. People loved it. I was doing more. I was hitting Holborn, and yeah, like, you know, came up with like the builder characters. So these guys, the hard hat, the high vis.
Yeah.
Because not only was I doing sound engineering, I was doing building work, working on building sites.
Right.
So whilst I was just started getting into the street art, I was also working out, how can I make this character on the building site? So how can I mix building work with the street art? So I came up with a demon, but a demon wearing the hard hat and the high vis.
Cool.
So my first location I did with the builders was in London Bridge, on Shoreditch Streets. And that was my first builder location. And yeah, that was good, because it got put in a newspaper. I think it was like London Life, years ago, man. But my brother spotted it in the newspaper, and I've still got it now. And yeah, it's just a simple photo of the piece.
I love them. They're really expressive. They're kind of grimacing. I don't know if they're grimacing or they're almost shaking with anger, in a way. It's kind of, but yeah, you get an instant impression from them. It's brilliant.
Yeah, I mean, I like to. For me, it's therapy. I don't do art to be cool. No. It's inside me. No, for me, I'm haunted, but in a positive way, where, like, you know, I always feel I want to do something. Right. You know, what's the plan? What's going on? What's the motive? Yeah. So, you know, to me, it's attacking the wall. You know, me, yeah. I haven't got to be angry at life. No, I ain't got to attack life. I can attack the wall with art. That's it. And this is what I like doing. I like doing it for the people as well. Realising, you know, over the years, people, like, you know, some people message me and say, man, your artwork inspired me. I went to London, and I never knew my artwork had that effect with people. Yeah. So I like the idea that, you know, it affects each individual in a different way. So yeah, so like what I do, I like to think it's also, yeah, not just for me, it's also for the people, also for the kids. Over the summer I did some workshops with primary schools, and yeah, it made me realise, yeah, you know, the kids could grow up and they don't have to do like 9-to-5 jobs. They could grow up to do art as well. You know, when I was in school, they never told us that we could be artists. They said, oh yeah, you got to get GCSEs, you got to get big grades. If you don't get the grades, you're going to fail. And I find that scary. But I realise it now. I didn't even need GCSEs. I need positive belief, and that's it.
And it helps you get into St Martin's, I imagine.
Well, right, so with St Martin's, I got in a year early, so I didn't finish my full AS level.
Oh, okay.
So you get 2 years. You do AS1, AS2, then you get A level.
Right.
So I left school in my first year of AS. Right. So I said to my teachers, like, you know, I've had enough. I want to leave school early. I've got 1 more year left, but you know, I didn't like my art teachers. There's 2 of them I didn't like, but there's 1 of them I liked. And then, she was called Miss McNair, the one I liked. And I said to her, Miss McNair, what's the chances of me getting into St Martin's a year early? Like, if I was to apply now, you know, is that possible? Yeah. She goes, well, if you try it, if you come up with, you know, if you have your artwork, you know, imaginative, creative, then possibly you could do it. I was like, all right, cool. I went to the other teachers. What do you think about me getting to St Martin's a year early? No, they were like, nah, man, no chance. I was like, all right. So that gave me the drive to do it. Yeah. And you know, I've got in St Martin's a year early. So I went to St Martin's when I was 17. And yeah, man, that changed my life. Yeah. Yeah, big time. And it was good.
I'm going to turn the camera off now. Thanks for talking to us, Nathan.
That's cool, man.
Cheers. So that was show 4 on back here where it all began outside the National Gallery in London's Trafalgar Square. I'd like to thank Nathan and I'd like to thank Brad for their contributions to the show and talking so frankly about their work. I'll be back in a month or so in a show that's going to be all about drawing and what you can do with your drawings if you want to take it, lift it from the pages if you like of your sketchbook outside your living room and get it out into the real world. I'll see you then. Until then, let's keep it crafty.